The Marathon of Hope, a journey of courage and inspiration. Once upon a time in a bustling city, there lived a young man named David. David was an ordinary guy in many ways, but he had an extraordinary dream. He had always been captivated by the idea of running a marathon, not just any marathon, but one of the most challenging in the world, the renowned Boston Marathon. However, there was a significant twist in David's story. He had been born with a disability that affected his legs. Despite facing adversity from the very beginning, David had an unshakable belief that he could achieve his dream. He knew that every great accomplishment started with a single step, and he was determined to take those steps, no matter how challenging they might be. David's disability made running a marathon seem like an insurmountable feat. Doctors and friends advised him against it, suggesting that he focus on more attainable goals. But David refused to let his disability define his limits. Instead, he let it fuel his determination to prove that anything was possible with unwavering resolve and hard work. His journey began with a single step. David found a coach, John, who believed in his potential and was willing to work with him to develop a unique training plan. It involved rigorous physical therapy, strength training, and a modified running technique that would allow him to navigate the course with his disability. David's training was relentless. Every morning he would wake up before the sun, don his running gear, and hit the pavement. His determination was palpable, and his spirit was infectious. Word of his quest spread throughout the city, inspiring others to chase their dreams, regardless of the obstacles they faced. As the months passed, David's progress was remarkable. He went from struggling to walk a few steps to completing a mile, then 2, and eventually 5. Each achievement was a testament to his perseverance and resilience. Alongside his physical training, he worked on his mental strength, learning to overcome self-doubt and push through moments of despair. News of David's journey reached the organizers of the Boston Marathon. Intrigued by his story, they decided to grant him a special entry into the race, acknowledging the extraordinary effort he had put into preparing for it. David was overjoyed, and he knew that this opportunity was not just a chance to achieve his dream, but also a platform to inspire countless others. The day of the Boston Marathon arrived, and David stood at the starting line among elite athletes and determined runners from around the world. He was nervous, but he drew strength from the supportive crowd that had gathered to cheer him on. David's parents, who had always encouraged him to chase his dreams, were there too, their eyes filled with pride. The marathon was grueling, a test of both physical and mental endurance. David faced intense pain and exhaustion as he tackled each mile, but he kept moving forward. His determination was unwavering, and he drew inspiration from the cheers and encouragement of the spectators who lined the route. Miles turned into hours, and David approached the final stretch of the race. The finish line was in sight, and a surge of energy coursed through his veins. With every ounce of strength he had left, he pushed himself forward. The crowd roared in support, and tears welled up in the eyes of those who witnessed this incredible journey. Finally, David crossed the finish line, completing the Boston Marathon. The moment was nothing short of miraculous. His legs were trembling, his body ached, but his heart soared with triumph. He had proven that no obstacle, no matter how daunting, could stand in the way of a determined spirit. David's story spread like wildfire, touching the hearts of people far and wide. He became a symbol of resilience, an embodiment of the human spirit's ability to overcome adversity. Messages poured in from individuals who had been inspired to pursue their own dreams, no matter the odds. But David's journey didn't end at the Boston Marathon. He continued to run marathons, breaking barriers and setting records for athletes with disabilities. His story became a beacon of hope for countless others, reminding them that they could conquer their own Everest, no matter how high it might seem. As the years passed, David's impact reached even greater heights. He founded a non-profit organization dedicated to providing support and resources for individuals with disabilities who aspired to achieve their dreams. His organization sponsored adaptive sports programs, offered scholarships, and provided mentorship to those in need. David's story became a best-selling book and the subject of a documentary that won numerous awards. He traveled the world, sharing his story with audiences of all ages, inspiring them to embrace their challenges and turn them into opportunities for growth. In recognition of his extraordinary contributions, David was invited to speak at the United Nations. He delivered a powerful message of resilience, determination, and the limitless potential of the human spirit. His words resonated with leaders and individuals from diverse backgrounds, inspiring them to work together to create a more inclusive and compassionate world. David's legacy lived on, not just in the records he had shattered, but in the lives he had touched and transformed. He had shown the world that the true measure of a person's strength was not in their physical abilities, but in their determination to pursue their dreams, no matter how impossible they may seem. And so, the story of David, the young man who had dared to dream of running a marathon despite his disability, became an enduring symbol of the power of the human spirit. It served as a reminder that within each of us lies the potential to overcome any obstacle and achieve greatness, so long as we have the courage to take that first step and keep moving forward, one step at a time.